Okay, so here we are with our first step of skills for the fantasy landscape project. So I'm going to create a lizard skin centaur using John Cena, a horse, and some actual lizard skin. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've cut him out. Um, I've got a picture of a horse and the guy. They're relatively the same direction, and I'm going to place him. So I'm going to go to my move tool up here, move him down in position. Now, one thing you can do with this is you can actually come over here and change your opacity down on the John Cena layer to about 50% or so. That way you can sort of see through it and see if your position is correct. So I've got this, so I've got his belly button lining up with the center of the horse here, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is, because you can see, sorry, that I have some space here where the horse isn't really going to meet his torso, I need some more horse texture behind there. So I'm going to clone stamp some of that in. Basically, I'm going to fill this with background texture. So I'm going to hold down my control or command button, click on the picture of the layer, which creates a selection. I'm going to make that invisible here. Go to my horse layer, because that's where I'm going to add stuff. And I want to add to this selection. So I go up to my lasso tool, I hold my shift button down, which gives me add, and I'm going to just build this line down into the horse. I'm going to come around here and get some extra. You always want a little bit of extra so that you don't have a texture blending into something which makes no sense, like a hard edge where the texture stops. And I'm going to go to my clone stamp tool here. Now, when I do this, fuzzy edge brush, as big as you think you can get away with, so you can control where you're putting this in. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to source. You hold my Alt button down, Alt Option. You notice I get a little target here. I click. Now what's cool with Photoshop is you can actually see what you're going to start painting with. So I'm painting this in on my horse layer. I'm going to go paint all this stuff in here. I don't care if I have a little bit extra, that's fine. What I want are details gone, like the horse's face, and of course I filled in that gap. I can source again, so I'm going to Alt again up here just to fill this in. I don't think that's going to be a problem, but just to be sure, I'm going to put some of that in there as well. Now, I want to get rid of these parts here that are sticking out from behind him. So I'm going to go to my select and I'm going to inverse, which reverses what I have selected. Now everything outside the selection area is selected. I go to my eraser, I erase that out, get rid of this up here. I'm going to deselect, I'm going to get rid of this stuff here too. Deselect, Command D, get rid of this. I don't want to really get rid of all of it because I want to have some extra in here. But now, when I put my John Cena back on, I take him up to 100%. We're ready to do some blending. Now we're going to blend a little bit different than what we used to do in GIMP, if you did that in GIMP. So I'm going to use a mask. So I go to my picture of my layer, I hold my Control Command button down, I click on the picture. It selects everything within that layer. Okay? I come down here, I hit the mask button. This creates a mask. Now, everything that is white is transparent, everything that is black is blocked. So I'm going to go to my paintbrush. I'm going to set it on a low opacity, probably about 33% or so. I'm going to use a fuzzy edged brush because I want to have soft edges. And what I'm going to do now on the mask, as I paint in black, you can see that that section goes away. And I'm continually clicking and painting more. So I'm getting rid of my edges here. Now what's cool about this, let's just say you go too far. Let's just say I come up here and go, oh man, I went too far. Not a problem. I come over here, I switch it back to white because over on the mask, as I paint in white, it gets blocked out. So I can paint this area back in. And now my blend's smooth. In fact, I'm going to put this belly button back in there just a little bit more. So now I've got a smooth blend with that one. So that is merging him together.